Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So Dragon Ruler's TCG format, it has been, when were they limited? 2013, right? Like holidays? August like 2013, yeah, I think so. Post that, it was the pre-Dragon featuring 6 cents Dragon Rulers, you know how it went, with I think all rulers to 1. So finally they are releasing them basically from the ban. So all the big ones are 2 in the TCG, but I don't see, or I don't think there's a reason to play more than one of the babies, you know, consistency-wise, brick-wise, and so on. So it's a toolbox basically. You could maybe go for like a 60 card build, but with only one grass looks greener available for the TCG. I don't think that's worth it. The TCG balance, or Konami for the TCG, right, decided to give us Red Rose Dragon, I believe the name is, yeah, it has been a while, back, because, what was it, for whatever reason, it was, well, I mean, because of Helgi Fibrax, right? But this just reminds me on Master Duel, what was it, almost under a year ago, I think, was almost playing the same build, but with big differences that Baron is still legal on Master Duel, and playing Dragon Rulers, they are okay, they are fun to play with, but they're lacking a big Omni negation, as in Baron. Baron would have been fantastic for this deck too, and obviously next to, you know, Dispater. And that's why the Diable Star package is there to go for Omega, reborn this, you know, reborn it with Dispater, and basically pick 2 cards from your opponent's hand, prevent them from basically playing the game. Other than that, I think the build is pretty straightforward. You could definitely main deck Fiendsmith, but you know, basically any deck can main deck Fiendsmith to, you know, slap it in as well, maybe, you know, bump it up to 50 cards. It becomes just a full engine deck. Or combining a couple of engines, but I think again it's super straightforward. You have the, you know, a lot of Dragon Rulers, a lot of dragons. You have the Bestials, which again Magnum searches basically almost the entire deck, and you know, regain shenanigans with the Dragon Rulers. You know how this one goes, and you know, Red Rose is a dark, so that's important. And then I was making a big Kashtira package at first, but I'm not so sure about that. Triple Fenrir, because it's also a level 7, obviously, and you know, Fenrir breaks boards on its own if you happen to go second. Nip, again, one of the best hand traps probably going into the new format. I mean, 10 by, yeah, it is what it is. So this should be my duel, right? That's been a while. Discard, what is it, Reactant to Special Summon Redux? The second copy from the deck, and this should be more than enough to attack for a game. So yeah, here again you're lacking your Omni negation. But I mean, you have, whatchamacallit, the Dispater, you have Changying and the extra deck, which are fine. But you'll see, I believe it's in the next one, in the next double, that the deck loses heart to board breakers, like looking at talents and stuff like that. Sure, you can run hand traps, but the problem with like Dragon Rulers nowadays in 2024 compared to Dragon Rulers 2013 is back in 2013 the deck had access to 6 cards, you know, going first, and with like a combo oriented deck with, you know, your babies, discard 2 cards, you get, you know, you're heavily relying on that 6th card. So with that in mind, it's very hard for this deck to main deck, I feel, a lot of hand traps, because there are hardly any 1-card starters, right? You need all of your cards in your hand to combo off. So it's very hard, I think, to main deck Ash, Troll, Nip, Imper, you know, the stuff that's like Snake Eyes can play. It needs more testing, but with that in mind, like maybe a hand trap heavy build with Super Rejuvenation, like the good old days, but Super Rejuvenation in theory sounds good, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So again, put up Dispater for potential monster destruction, sadly no monster negation, as long as your opponent does not have any banished cards. So Diable Star package is there because a potential draw, it's a level 7 as well, searches Jet Synchron as a level 1 tuner, so you know, it's not because it's wanted, forces out Ash in case of wanted during the draw phase, so I think it's definitely worth it. Again, putting pressure, more link plays as well, you know, Little Knight and so on. Using the Monster Reborn from, you know, Roses and on the hand combo, I guess you could definitely leave Omega on field to get back one of your banished cards, you know, back to the grave. Here in this case, it's indeed Jet Synchron. So here is what I was talking about. I needed to rip that Talents with Omega, because now Talents is going to destroy my entire board. I could potentially chain Masquerina or use Masquerina for Little Knight and then dodge, but I would have, at least I would have been left an empty field. Then what is it, the rank 7, that if you have like, you know, detach and then pop a face-up card from your opponent, it didn't matter, because again, my opponent would have been able to abuse my own Dispater against me. So, the deck lacks an Omni negation, unless I missed cards, unless the deck already has a potential Omni negation, you know, at a consistent level. But I don't think so, So again, feel free to leave suggestions. So here in this case, I believe Turtle Mid, I mean, okay, Turtle Mid is going to end on a super board. They, you know, ripped my Little Knight, Kalero as well, and the Trap. The Trap definitely hurts, because, as you know, Dragon Rulers, their graveyard is basically their second hand. Lubellion is a nice top deck for the, whatchamacallit, Magnamut. But little too late, right? I needed that before. Like, in theory, the Bestials should be good in the upcoming format, especially with Fiendsmith and so on. Yugioh and, you know, a lot of darks, a lot of lights. But here in this case, always, it's basically a losing battle. I lose the rank 7 Exceed, you know, the Dragon Ruler Exceed, I guess, can I call it like that. And yeah, Magnamut here in this case is not doing anything, right? Yeah. Another one going first, yeah, the last one will be going second. The deck can definitely go second. I mean, now, because you're, I mean, okay, you're running Nips. I think Nips are still fine as a 3-off here in this particular deck, because I don't think the deck has access to main deck, you know, multiple hand traps. Triple Fenrir, you have the Bestial, so the hand traps are there, right? Hand traps are there. Plus Talents and Thrust, you could maybe main deck more of those if you're fearing going second, that is. So again, fairly standard, right? Going for a Regained, super crucial here in the setup. Oh, I think this is the best end board, you know, Heretic Seal. The red roses are not, you know, forcing you to go for Synchro Summons. You can use them for Link Summons as well. So Heretic Seal for bounce, you have Dispater for the Monster Negation or Destruction, and Colossus, because I think Nemesis at 3, maybe at 2, but, you know, we got Colossus back at 2, so there's definitely options, because, you know, banishing cards is not that hard for this deck, so why not, right? You're not losing anything, basically. Maybe consistency if you really open up multiple Nemesis. So the Ecclesia is obviously going to dodge Little Knight, but, you know, we're negating the effect with Dispater. Sword Soul, I guess it's fine as long as, you know, they don't open with Tenyi's plus follow-up lane. And this is, yeah, we can go for Druid's Worm and, you know, for potential draw as well, so that's more than enough. Last example, going second. And going second is fairly okay. You have Magnamut, Thrust, Fenrir, so that's fine. That's cool. What deck is this? Is this Fiendsmith, Fire King, Snake Eyes? I think this is Fire King. So the Magnamut prevents, I guess, Caesar from coming out. I guess that's the play post Beatrice ban. We do get Ash, so that's okay. That's already one less hand trap that can be used on a Thrust or something like that. So Sinful Spoils, and this is indeed Fire King Snake. Yeah, I think so, because the Kirin will be drawn, I think, in a few minutes. We'll see. So basically full combo again. The thing is that at least how are they going to end? Probably Masquerina, you know, the standard board. But the problem is my own Magnamut is blocking my Fenrir, so we need to force out a Disruption, their Little Knight, or hope that they would pop my Magnamut so my Fenrir can hit the board and potentially wreck, right? I mean, I could force out an early, whatchamacallit, Promethean. So we'll see. I believe this end board is... I'm not so sure about Titanic Galaxy. You're kind of sacrificing stuff like Flame Birch. I mean, here in this case it does block Talents and Thrust and... no. So go for Changing first. I guess here the play could have been, because there's Promethean Princess, to try to destroy Changing, Chain Failure, I guess. Because now we are able to threaten the board. Even though Promethean is still there, is it being used now? Yeah, but you cannot reborn Masquerina because again Promethean Princess blocks that. There's still Failure, but yes. Oh, yeah, but finally we can use Thrust there because there were no monster effects activated throughout the entire turn. So now it's Child's Play. Go for Dispater to have one at least monster negation because they have the whatchamacallit, the Fiendsmith. It's Engraver, this is main phase 2, right? Yeah, we can get rid of the... I mean, we have Changing. We can search the Druid's Worm, and then immediately during their turn, use Druid's Worm, use Changing, banish everything, and with this pattern, that's more than enough to attack our game. Eventually. So, it's really fun. It's really, really fun, the Dragon Rulers. Is this deck top tier? No, far from. But again, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. We can sign out. Peace.